Weekly News Conference sponsored by Georgia Power. Well, what a day on Saturday in Hawkins Arena. Both our women's and men's basketball teams scheduled to play their last regular season game against teams that were in first place in the Southern Conference standings. And when all the dust had settled, or rather the last horn sounded, Mercer women had defeated number one Chattanooga 68-55, and the men defeated number one ETSU 82-76. Now it's on to the Southern Conference Basketball Championships. Harris Cherokee Center in Asheville, North Carolina. The Mercer women seeded fifth will play number 4 Furman in the first round Thursday at 5:45. Women's tournament will run opening games on Thursday, semifinals Friday, skip Saturday, championship game Sunday. With that, Coach, take it away. Tell us some good news about what happened Saturday.
All right. Hello, everyone. First, just want to start out just wishing all the other sports good luck and congratulations on the ones that are winning and everything else, because it's a little hard when we're right in our season to get out and see all the action, but just want everyone to know that we're pulling for them and cheering for them, and so that's something that I just wanted everyone to know. Women's basketball is pulling for them. Just really excited about where we're at right now. Exciting time of the year, man. March Madness, that's what it's all about. So, finishing out on senior night in front of a great crowd, with this amazing group of young ladies who fought and just continue to work and get better and better every day. I think that's was something that we always just talked about, getting 1% better every single day. And I think that's something that we can say as a staff that we're really proud of, that we have. We we grew through winning and losing. And I think as a team, that's what you have to do in order to be ready for the next opponent. So I always tell them, and I don't get too high and don't get too low, just making sure that we're ready to go in whatever situation that is. And so I take my hat off to the staff and to the players on just following the game plan and getting to wherever we needed to get to in whatever situation that was in every game. So in this last game, just going up against Chat, following the game plan, making sure that we could attack them first. That was our one of our major focuses on the board, was to have a great start and come out of the gate ready to go, and that's what we did. And I think we held on to that lead and the confidence even when things went where they made their run. Good teams are going to make runs. Great players are going to make great plays. We just always try to make sure that they're equipped and ready to go. So with that, I'll open it up with questions.
Coach, it kind of feels like on Saturday you guys played spoiler, right? Chat was not locked into the regular season championship. To get a win, and especially a big one at that, how does that win compare to maybe other ones you've experienced here at Mercer? Do you kind of look at it the same way, or do you kind of look at it as, wow, this was great, this is great to have this momentum going into the tournament? Can you just kind of walk me through that?
Yeah, I think it's great on both sides, right? I think it also shows you the parity that's in this league, and that there wasn't a regular season conference champion named until after the last game. So I think that shows that just the progression of different teams showing up at different times, the talent level that's in the league. But yeah, really, it's always great when you can have the opportunity to win on your home court against the number one team in the conference. But I think for us, what we wanted to make sure is that we played our best basketball, and that we were in a situation that we knew this was our last tune-up going into the third season. You have your non-conference, you have your conference, and your third season is when you hit the tournament. And so we really talked about making sure that we was prepped and prepared for that.
And then in the second quarter of the game on Saturday, it just felt like the energy kind of shifted. It was close, and then all of a sudden you guys just get out and take a lead. How did you kind of see it on the court? What was kind of just what felt different in that moment? What were you seeing from your lady on the court?
I can say, Talia Kemp has been nursing like some injuries and different stuff, just as Ariana. But when Talia Kemp goes, we go, and that's what happened in the second quarter. She really just led the charge, and then everybody just kept coming along. I think that's who we've been this season, though. I think the greatest thing about this team is different people can step up at different moments. You got Mike Odell can make a three. You got Abby who will make a three. Ari will get an and one, or Steph getting a rebound. We can keep going down the line, and I think that is who we are and who we've been. And I think this last game kind of showed that you got to prepare for everyone that's on the floor.
And obviously, senior day on Saturday too, honoring those leaders on your team. Just talk about how beneficial they've been to have those veteran leaders in your locker room, especially in your second year as a coach, keeping those folks around and helping build up, the rest of the team for the next few years to come.
Yeah, it's been incredible. I think having the opportunity to, coach Ariana and Nahawa for these 2 seasons has been really great, just because of understanding that we're trying to build a culture, trying to still do the things that we need to so we can grow. And, then we added Ilana in the mix, and, just a phenomenal, amazing young lady, but also a great basketball player. So when you add a lot of the talent that we added to the roster, along with great individuals that fit really well with our group, it's definitely, for me, just really proud of who they have become in the 2 seasons that they've been here. And I think the most important thing for me as a head coach is to try to make sure that I can help them reach their full potential, not only on the court, but off the court, and being the best versions of themselves. And something I take a lot of pride in. So I hope that that's what I've done for those 2. And again, we still got a lot of basketball left. So super excited about having the opportunity to be in the position that we're in right now, going to Asheville.
What's standing out to you on the scouting report as you guys head out there for the?
Yeah, I think what's standing out is we just played Furman. The bracket that we in, we just played a lot of the teams, and so I think that for us, just making sure that we can really focus on who we need to be and make sure we're following the scout. And, I think when you get to tournament time, it's about playing those 40 minutes. Who's that best team in those 40 minutes, right? We got to be confident in what we do, and that's putting the ball in the hole and guarding and doing the things that we need to. So, because to get to a championship, it's quick turnarounds. So you got to be ready to go. You got to play the game. You got to move to the next game. Mindset has to shift very quick.
I'm sure your team's locked in, but you kind of talked about playing, these similar teams recently. Does that kind of help you guys going into your matchup? You know how you can play to your strengths and kind of take advantage of your opponents. How does that kind of change for you as you prepare for a tournament?
Yeah, I think it changes because, they've played us. They're going to adjust, right? And we're going to adjust and do the things that we need to. But, I'm a firm believer when you get to March, everything is set. You're set on who you are as a team. So they know who we are. They know what that looks like. My job as a head coach is to make sure I put them in that position where we're changing up and doing the things we need to so we can be successful. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for this group to go into this tournament in a better situation than we were last year. And so now, just focusing on now and taking one game at a time.
You talked a lot about the kind of offensive, whatever you want to call it, the revival of this team. The last game against Furman, I feel like we saw almost the peak of that, right? How did that happen for you guys in that last game, and how much of that do you expect to transfer over? Maybe obviously they'll make adjustments. How do you anticipate that figuring into things?
Well, I think, as I spoke about a few minutes ago, I think it's really hard when you have 5 players on the floor that can score the basketball. And I think that in the Furman game, I think in a lot of other games we've had that. And I think respectfully, you have to guard Abigail Holtman. You have to guard Michael from the 3. And then, you just have different people that can come in. It's awesome for us to be able to know our rotation now. And the most important thing is that, getting healthy for us and continuing to stay healthy and be able to have everyone on the floor. And so I think that that's always been for us, who we've tried to be and what we're going to continue to be.
Comparing right now to last season, when you were going into the conference tournament, how different does it feel, and can you explain some of the different emotions you're feeling, different thoughts as a coach compared to last season?
Yeah, I think the different emotions are we're in a different situation than we were last year. Last year was last year. This is this year. I'm focusing on who we are as a team and what that looks like. And who we are as a team is a a very tough, I think, a very tough team to be able to match up with, scout, and do a lot of different things. So, at the end of the day, me continuing to live in the moment with this group and putting them in the best position they can so we can go to Asheville and figure out how to win our first game.
You talked about how at this point in the season in March, you know who you are. How would you describe this team now compared to where we were at the beginning of the year to the definite image that you have now in the squad?
Yeah, I think we're, in moments when we want to guard, we can guard. I think we are that defensive team that can change up and do a lot of different things. And when we're in that mindset like we have been, I think we do a phenomenal job of guarding and defending and changing up our defenses. And then offensively, when we got spacing and movement, we're pretty hard to guard. And I think that is something for us that we have went from the beginning of the season to making sure that we focused on throughout the season so we could get better. So when we got to this time, we knew that we would be ready in whatever situation that was. If you play as man, if you play as zone, we're still able to put them in a position where they feel comfortable, that they can still do the things that they need to do to help them be successful.
Everybody talks about how this is the time of the year when you want to be playing your best basketball. After Saturday, did that kind of confirm that to you, that we are playing some of our better ball right now?
Yeah, I think with the mixture of Furman and Saturday, even the ETSU game, we were right there. We didn't start out well, but had a chance to win the game, or at least go into overtime. So I think I'm proud of them for adjusting in the ways that we needed to. I think at the end of the day, when you get to this point, conference time, everybody thinks they're going to the conference tournament thinking they can win it, everyone, right? So I think the most important thing is that you are with our group and we're focusing with them on the things that we're going to control the things we can control. We can control our effort, how hard we play, following the scout, doing those things we need to so we can be successful. So, yeah.
And then for you as a coach going into your second SoCon tournament, is there anything that you want to switch up going into Asheville? Is there like a memory from last year that you're like, okay, I remember that this is what happened last year, I got to do it differently this time around?
Yeah, I'm not trying to remember nothing from last year. Last year we were one and done, and that's not our plan, right? Last year was last year, the growth of who we are, but this is who we are now, and at the end of the day, we're trying to make sure we can continue to represent Mercer women's basketball the way we have throughout this whole season.
Anything else for Coach Howard? Coach, you got one of your leaders with you?
Yes.
A proper introduction of her and what she means to your program.
Yeah, I brought Ari today because Ari also too has kind of been nursing some injuries and different things, and but has fought her way just to continue to keep being on the floor for us, being in this moment. She understands and knows what this looks like going down to this to the tournament, but also has just really done whatever needed to be done for us this year. Is now coming back off some injury. She's coming off the bench and been a huge spark for us and putting us in a situation where people have to adjust when she comes on the floor and what she does. And so, I said this earlier at senior night, like she was one of the first ones to believe in me and this program, one of my first signees commitments. And I'm just glad that we're in a situation that we're going into the tournament in a better situation than we were last year. So, Ari.
All right, if you would give us an opening statement and tell us about how the season's gone, how you're looking forward to the tournament this week.
I got you. Well, hello. The opening statement. Like Coach said, I have been nursing some injuries. I'm just blessed to be able to come off the bench and help my team in any capacity that they need. As the season has progressed, I feel like we have gotten better as a team on both ends of the court, grown, better chemistry, grown, adjusted, and things of that nature.
Ari, I know Nahal, your teammate earlier this year, talked about wanting to come back and, finish what you guys started. Just talk about what this season's meant for you and finishing out your season. Senior season on a really strong note.
Well, I know for Nahawa, this is her 5th year, her grad year coming back, and then for me, this is my 4th and final year. I think for both of us being seniors and wanting to, of course, flip it, which was one of our mottos coming back, that has definitely been a major thing and something we've wanted to not only do for ourselves as finishing our college, collegiate play, but also something we wanted to do for Mercer women's basketball and our coaching staff.
And, to have a big win on senior night and finish out, the regular season on a strong note, going into the conference tournament, how are you feeling? And what's kind of on your mind going into it?
I will say it was a great win. It was a team win, and I hope we can continue that energy and that focus that we had against the Furman game, Chattanooga game, into the conference.
And then there was a social media video this weekend. You guys were giving Coach Hurt the silent treatment as she came into the locker room. How special was that to celebrate such a big win, especially against one of the top teams in the conference?
Honestly, that silent treatment, that was my idea. I did it to her last year, but yeah, I felt like it was just something we could do to. We knew she was gonna come in and celebrate. We were already celebrating before she got in there, but I mean, I don't know, just really keep the spark alive, have some fun with it.
What gave you the idea to do that?
I did it last year, so I was just like, I want to do something again. I couldn't really think of anything else. I was just like, oh, sit there, act sad, don't show any energy. She walk in, let her cheer a little bit, have a little time, but then jump up and cheer.
No Gatorade shower, nothing like that?
No. We can't mess with the hair, can't mess with the fit. No.
Coach Hurt obviously said she did not want to remember anything from last year, right? But with the group of players and as a returner, you do have experience with this conference tournament. Maybe you have a different answer. Is there anything, does it help to be more familiar with the tournament? Are there any things from last year that you maybe want to change or that you want to keep the same?
Similar to what Coach said, I don't want to remember anything besides the feeling that I had after. I don't want that feeling again. Again, the situations, circumstances are completely different. We're a different team, so yes, we can take what we learned from last year and, use it to navigate this year, but outside of that, nothing from last year.
Coach has talked a lot about growth all season. What's the biggest way you feel like this team has grown and played together? You talked about chemistry, but what's something you're noticing when you're on the court every day?
Defense. We've completely adjusted and followed Scout a lot more. And as coaches, she is a defensive coach, and I feel like we have grown to, follow that.
For you going into your final SoCon tournament, obviously it's sentimental for you because this is your last go-around for your basketball career, but what do you think is the biggest difference coming into it this year? You guys got to go last year, but this year, do you feel more confident in what this group could do? How are you feeling?
I definitely feel more confident. I feel like our mindset is different. Again, we're a different team. Circumstances are completely different from last year to this year. Overall, I keep my faith in God. I have confidence in this team. I have confidence in what God has set for us. So yeah.
What do you tell the new players that haven't had that experience yet? What do you tell them about what it's like playing in Asheville and really do or die at this moment?
I tell them that we can really only focus on ourselves. We control what we can control. Yes, follow the scout and everything, but we have to make sure that we follow what we are, what we do as Mercer women's basketball.
Okay, anything else? I got it. You owe me for keeping her occupied the 10 minutes post-game, so you got to prepare for your celebration. I held her down until she could get there. Congratulations, ladies. Great finish.